Hello everybody. So my name is Gideon, the Glad app expert since 2021. And this is another day where I'm just browsing here the Glad community and trying to help individual developers with problems that I believe I can solve in a pretty quick video. So I found this question, this use case, which looks interesting to me, and I would like to try to solve it. So basically what we have here, in short, they want a monthly and daily summary of items, of events, right? So the first thing that I will do is use the beta version of AI agent of Glide, and it will allow me to build quickly tables that I need. So for this functionality, basically Glide AI agent won't going to help us. I tried it before. It won't really help us in complex formulas and stuff like that, but it will help us to create some dummy data and tables, so it will be easy to build from that. So Nina already gave us the tables of trips that she needs, and consequently also we need the drivers table. So we're gonna create a new app. I'm gonna start from blank. I will go to the agent, and to the agent I will tell them I'm creating traction app. Is completed. Also create a driver table. So the AI will think for a second. Then start with the sample data. That's what we want. All right, awesome. All right. All right, that's it for now. So now we can click on the layout and also data, and you can see in the data that I have trips and I have drivers. Okay, drivers are also users, and there is also admin user. Make necessary changes. All right. This is here. Okay. This is nothing, it's totally empty, so we can definitely delete this. And here for the drivers, we should have emails. All right. So unfortunately, he did not add for us any emails here. But that's unfortunate. But we can use, if I'm going to navigation here in the layout, and I click this tiny plus button, I can add company directory. And what this does is going to create a company directory like this. But most importantly, it will add to the data some users. So we can also say that those are drivers, and I can take those emails and plug it in here. Yeah, so these are trips. As you can see, aggregation is not the best thing, but with Glide, we don't need to do just 100% vibe coding. We can actually develop ourselves some stuff, so we don't really need anything too much here. What I will do is I'm going to export the data from the driver table. Now this one I don't need anymore. And then I'm going to get it and then I can import it back to my app. Because in Glide, we must use the user table as regular Glide tables and not Glide big tables. So that's why. And I don't need this anymore. And this will replace this, so we don't need this photo. And here for the role, we can just make something simple as is that person is an admin. So you can say that this first one is an admin. And this can be person. All right. Now we can get rid of this as well. All right. So the reason is I will suggest in this case to use trips as Glide big tables, because if we grow, then this table will be able to host more data than normal tables. And trips are probably the ones that hold the most data in this app specifically. So we're going to use this. Right. So now we have a trip ID, but trip ID can either generate manually, or we can use the row ID in Glide, and this will be our new trip ID, because every row being created, this data will be automatically added, and this is the key of the trips. So we can either use something like this, because we have in our company, or whatever we have actually numbers that we need, or we can use something from Glide app as a default value. I will use the default value in this case because I don't want to work too hard on this. The main focus here is about the daily and monthly reports, so we do not need this trip ID. Next we have driver ID. So driver ID also, again, I can create by adding row ID like so, and it's also gonna be automatically added. So I can change the name to driver ID. The downsides of this, why I don't like to use it, and I would like more to use emails, because if for some reason I will delete one of the drivers like so, then it will be very hard for me to bring him back on board and then to know which row ID he has, and in that way it will be hard to reconnect him to the data. So I would highly prefer to use email to connect between a user to its data. So let's say take these guys, and instead of driver ID we can take driver's email and change this to email, and then I can paste it just like this. So same driver can have multiple rides, and then I can have trips relation, and I can use the relation column, and as we said, I'm going to connect between email to drives email in the trip, and match multi because you have multiple drives, see, and then total trips. In this case I can actually calculate it. I can say rollup from the trip relation, and doesn't matter which I'm using here. Usually I like to use the trip ID because it's going to be always full, and then we can have trips, and then this will be total trips. And I will save it, and now I can actually see how many I can actually see how many trips each one has. You see it is query because it's using like big tables. So now we don't need this anymore. Now first request is she also wants drivers only see their own trips. So let's do this first because it's easier. So we don't need this page anymore, and this can be just my trips, and I will start as the basic table, the source of this whole page. I will use the user table, and the reason is I can go here, I can delete this, and then I can filter. Remember, on the user table it can be like a truck, and let's also add here in the name and slug, and now I can filter this table that if the because now I'm going to see the first row. Let me demonstrate. So now I see only the first row. Doesn't matter which person I'm going to log in here, I'm still going to see the first row, which is this case our manager. But if I want that every user going to log in and see its own data, then I need to filter this user table when email is sent in. Of course, I need to make access required sign in. In this case, public, private, only users in the user table can log in. It's fine. at least they must log in first. So now if we're gonna choose a different guy, you see how the data is changed, because every time I click here I'm on a different row. So now I can add a list here with the relation that we did, the trips. If I just do this, then I will see all of them. But if we're going to use the relation, then I'm going to see only his trips. And for the title, I can add 2 total trips. Right? So this is how a truck driver can only see his own trips. Now if I'm gonna copy all, because this is like the profile, this is the item of the user, and I go here to drivers, and this table I can use drivers, and let's say I want to do this, and here in the description I can say total trips, and I want to exclude managers, so filter when admin is not checked. And for the whole table, for the whole screen, I want to add an option, visibility, that only admin is checked. So only admin can see it. Now you see it's hidden. So if I click here, now it's the driver. If I go to manager, suddenly we have this drivers. And on my trips, we can do the opposite. So when admin is not checked, so now he only see company drivers, and driver, he only see his trips. So we solved this one. Now we need to tackle those. So of course we have a form here where they need to submit. So driver emails should pull up automatically. We can do that by clicking the plus button, looking for apps user email. So I can click here, add it to here. Time can be default for now. Tonnage is a number. I believe it's required, not focused. And the note, and basically that's it. That's what we need for this one. And then we can also copy all of this, then click here the edit, delete all of this and paste it. So now you can also edit if he wants to. And of course you can go in and see all of this. This, by the way, is the AI agent created all of this. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that, doesn't really matter. What does matter is what we're going to do in the data. So we need monthly and a daily report. Let's start with the monthly. So for monthly, to make my life easier, again I'm going to click this tiny plus and I'm going to click on dashboard. It's going to create a nicely looking dashboard. Of course, we can also make it as only admin can see it. So now we need to go to admin to see it. But of course now the dashboard doesn't really show us what we need to see. So we need to fix that. So how this actually works. So this dashboard, let's call it monthly dashboard. All of this marketing costs and all of this, we do not need it at all. So we can just hide all of this. I do want to see months totals and year totals, and the rest are fine. But now we need to connect it. So first of all, I will need current year can use the mathematic, can say year now. Now is now, U1 group separated, and now is year 25. It will come in a second, and then I need month and year. Month and year. That's how I can see a specific month, right? So month and year. Right. And year. Amazing. Now I need to, now I can hide this and this. And now I need exactly the same kind of column in the trips. So first of all, this is glide big tables. So it might give us some trouble, but we will try anyway. So we have here a month, a year, and a month and year. But if I click on it, this is a date. It's not actually the value that we want. It looks like this. So we need to extract out of it the data that we need. So let's try this simple way. Date format. So basically I can format the date as I wish. So month and year. This looks great. Okay, all of them are in November. So now we can say trips for the month. And we can make a relation, and then month and year, and month and year. As I suspected, it won't allow us to do it. So we need to think on a new way to do it. Let's see what we can extract from here. So first of all, we can make a year the same way we did before. So year and date. So here we're going to have, so current year trips, so this allows us to use math, as you can see. Of course, it's all of it because everything is here is this. But what if we're going to make month in numbers? And here also going to make month in numbers. So month, like so. And then month here is simply as 1, 2, 3, 4. And then again, current month and year trips. And here I can just make a query, and from the year and where month equal to this row month number, and save it. So now here we're going to see only in November. Okay, cool. So we can leave it as just a reference. We can hide it. Now we have month total. So she wants monthly total trips and total tonnage. So month total trips. Let's duplicate this. Month total trips are roll up from this relation. How many trips we had? Total trips. So now we don't need this. And year total is the same. This time it's from the year, right? And then also tonnage. So this again, like this, we can substitute with this. And this time I want to look at the tonnage and sum it up. So how much total tonnage we have. And same for the year. And tonnage and sum and do this and save it. Awesome. Now the average. So average is total month. Right. So unfortunately glide, okay, so let's leave it. We cannot do rollups on rollups in glide big tables, but we are pretty much satisfied with this. So if month's number is okay, so let's change it to this equal to current month. Then we can show total trips. This month's trips. And also tonnage. Now we can go back here. So we can have trips, and this will be the total trips. Monthly average, unfortunately we cannot do it, but this month trips we don't have one because we are in October, but if we're gonna change at least one number here, all right, so let's go dashboard. We own the first row again, so we need to filter if current month equal to the month. Now every time it will move to the month that will be currently. That's great. And now we can look on month and we can look at trips and tonnage. rest are irrelevant. And oh, of course, so this is when it's not empty, but we get rid of this and get rid of this. And here we also have the total trips and tonnage. We can also use this month to make it look a bit better. Right, so that's for that. Now we can go look at this data grid. We can remove this add button and search. And again, we don't need all of this. This can be the trips again. And this can be the tonnage. And here we can change to the month and year, so it's going to be clear. And here dashboard, we can also add the current year. And what else? Oh, here we want to add tonnage and tonnage. I'm basically building a whole app here. So we have the dashboard. Looks really cool. And this nice. Very, very nice. I don't like much this data, but we'll deal with that. If we open here, we're gonna see okay, so if I'm okay, so next phase, okay, that's done. The monthly stuff, even yearly, I gave her. Now I want to do the daily. Daily is a bit more challenging because trips can be on the same day, obviously. Let's say. But this is actually this. So they can submit different dates on different times. So for that we'll need something more sophisticated. So if I will go here for November, for example, I of course can add the trips of the month. And I can also, if I go here to trips and I make it as date only. So let's say this is a date. Let's say this is destination. And this is the tonnage. Then I can also group them together with the date. So I can basically see on which date they are, and I can also make it like this. And now I can see the dates. So I can see immediately like 2. But I think what she wants is also a total daily, right? She wants totals. So she won't just count it one by one. Doesn't make sense. So what we do need is a table of dates. So we're going to do something similar to this, but on a daily method. So daily. And this will be day number. As we could see, we need to connect it by the day. So we need 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. Luckily, it's not endless. And the rest we do not need. Okay, awesome. All right. So, of course, the days are not enough because I can do like this. Day. And then day. And let's say I want to do day relation total, but this won't give us the it will give us total of all the days, doesn't matter which month, which year, and so on. I will need to know the day, the year, and the month, right? So how can we do that? We'll go back to our users, and here I'm going to say date, year selection, and it's only a number, and this will be a month selection, and it will be a number. And now I can take these ones and come here daily again, add a new row, and then by user. And now I can put the math column, and I can say day, and because it's in the user table, I can choose it from the user table, like so. And then again, a month selection by user. This will be the month, like so, and save it. So now I have month and year. So what I can do is I can do this in different ways. Wondering what would be the best. Let's just make a button, and let's call it daily report. And this is going to be a new screen. And in this new screen, I can actually make a new screen to the user table. I mean, why not? Sorry, I mean the user who logged in a row. That's what I want. Because now I can put here container, split it to and make a choice selection, and I want to write it to the month selection, and here I'm gonna choose from our monthly dashboard the month number, but I want to display it as the month's name. And on the second thing, we'll need the year selection, and this time I will take it from the trips, and I want the year only. Year selection. And I can make this highlighted. And now I can make data grid. And this data grid, I do not need a search. And I want the daily. So then date. And I do not need this and this. So let's say I'm gonna log in November 25. Now we see November 25. And I will see only the data from that day. So now we can make total trips. I think you already know at this point where this is going, but nevertheless, we will push on. And also we have the tonnage. Total tonnage, and sum, and save it. So now we can select total and total trips, tonnage, and we do not need this anymore. So now if I click, oh right, so this now it's still total days. Now we need to filter it. So total year, month, and day. So now I can make a query from the total days and say that when month equal month and year equal year. Save. Oh. Again, my bad. I have not changed this numbers to take it from the right place. I don't know why you didn't correct me when I did this mistake, but I will forgive you. Let's see now. And now we can see, we can probably open this up to the 31. So now we can see how it looks like. And if we want to make it even more visually good looking, then we can make again day number, total trips, and total tonnage. Let's put this high up. So now we can see how it looks like. All right, so this is the daily, and we can also put here custom daily dashboard. So now we have the daily report, we have the monthly, and the year, current month, and if I go here, we have all the trips, and also our drivers, as we said. You can go here, copy all of this, and paste it there. And now we can see it per driver, what they did. Even the daily report, we could this is view only. Yeah, maybe we can even change it to table like this, and then it will be more easy to make it clickable. So the action, I'm gonna make it as slide in, and here we can get rid of this and put the trips again. Total trips. All right. Hope this was helpful and wasn't too long for you to follow. Please watch this video again and again until you fully get it. We cover here lots of stuff. We have roles, we have personal information, we have reports, dashboards, and all sort of amazing stuff that we did here. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next time. Never stop gliding.